Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. In a previous haul video, I got a whole bunch of Izabaro crystal stones. I will put a picture up now of the video that I'm talking about. And I will also put a link down there below in the description bar to the Izabaro crystal stone haul. And if you go and watch that video, by the way, I do have links to all the crystals that I got below that video in the description bar, alright? So anyways, for this tutorial, I wanted to design a ring that used very little materials, was easy to make, and a ring that I can use different sizes and shapes of stones. So I remembered a while back I did a tutorial on this ring right here. I will also link the video for this ring down below in the description bar. Now, I got this Swarovski Chaton in the center from a subscription box. It was the only one I got, so this is the only ring that I have. Now, the center of this ring was so beautiful, I could have left it just the way it was. And after I bezeled the stone, I just wanted to do more, so I ended up going around and I added all of these beads around the edge. But really, that stone just bezeled by itself was so beautiful. So I wanted to do that bezel again because it was really easy and beautiful, and so I did on these rings here with the Izabaro stones, and this is what I got. I'm really happy with them. These were super fast to make, like I said, very little materials, and also I wanted to stick to more basic sizes of beads, so I'm using 4mm, 3mm beads, and I'm using 11OC beads. So pretty awesome. Now, some of you probably have stones in your stash right now that will work for this ring, and I will go over when I go into making this on how you can, how you can change this to make it work for what you have, I guess, in this tutorial. But anyways, these are the rings that I made. They're really cute, simple to make, uses very little material. This is a great gift to give away for Christmas, birthdays, whatever. Here's the list of materials you will need to make this ring. You will need to cut 4 feet of 8-pound fireline, or 6, and you can also try using different threads to make this ring. When I first designed the top there, I did 6-pound monofilament and it worked, but I did not attach the ring band, so I don't know if it would work for that, because you might get stuck going through that bead and that bead there trying to do monofilament. So thread is best in my experience. You're also going to need a size 10 beading needle. You're going to need a stone. I'm using 14mm Rivolis and Chatons. This is a Rivoli, okay, 14. This one was 14 Rivoli, and this one is Chaton. And this is my most favorite stone. This is the prettiest stone I have ever seen. Look at that. It's called Mandala, the pattern. Isn't that incredible? The colors, it's just unbelievable, and that's what it looks like from the side. So it's a Chaton. Now when you go onto their website, this stone here looks like a Rivoli. They have a side view of what the stone looks like. It's not a Rivoli, it's a Chaton. It has a top, flat top. So I will link this stone here down there below in the description bar, so you can go get it if you want it. And if you really like it, you better get it while the getting's good before it's gone. And I'll link this one down below and this one. And there's also other colors that I didn't get that you'll find on the site. So you'll see when you go there. Now you're also going to need beads. You're going to need 10 4mm Czech fire polish bead. Now if you don't have Czech fire polish beads, you can probably just get away with 4mm rounds. And these here, I'm using 3mm Czech fire polish beads. I'm using 27 of them, and that makes a size 9 ring, so if you want a smaller ring, you would use less. And I'm using 11O Miyuki seed beads. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I have these stones here because I wanted to show you. I also bezeled these oval stones with this same exact design, and it worked perfectly. And these here too. Both of those. Right? If you want links to these here, I'll try and link them down below. If you don't see them, if I forgot, go watch my Izabaro haul and you'll see these stones linked down there below in that video. Alright? So let's get started. Now in order to bezel different sizes and shapes of stones, it all starts with how many beads you use in the base for your bezel. So for example, this Art Nouveau beaded bracelet here, I did a 5-part video tutorial series on this, and I did 4 different sizes of stones here, and I did 2 different shapes because those are round. That's oval and that's round. But anyways, I started out with the tiny one here at this end, as you can see, and flipping this over, I did 4 6mm Czech fire polish beads. As I went up in size on my stone, I had to do more beads. So I did 4 beads, 6, 8, and 10 beads for the back of my stone. Now here's the thing. All these numbers are even, and that's because I had to connect them together to make this bracelet. So that's the next important thing. If you are making a pendant, you can use an odd number, but if you're doing a ring, you have to use an even number for the base and also a bracelet like I did here, so that this is straight across, because you don't want to have one going that way, you know what I'm saying? Like this is here and my other side of my bracelet will be going that way. Now I could have done that with a necklace, that direction, but yeah, so anyways, we will have to increase and decrease the amounts we use for the base of our bezel in order to use different sizes and shapes of stones. So for this here, I'm using 4mm Czech fire polish beads for the back, and I am using 10. And this ring, the stone was smaller, and I did 8 for the back. Now with the teardrops and oval stones that I have, these stones here, I had to do 8 4mm Czech fire polish beads for the backs of these stones. Alright, so you're going to want to play around. So this being 14mm, if you have a stone that's bigger than this, you're going to want to try 12 beads for the back, and even bigger than 14. And what I did is I just didn't tie my knot. I did experimenting, and I played around a lot to see if it would even work before I tied knots. So right now I'm picking up 10 4mm Czech fire polish beads. This is how many I need for my base, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to slide my beads down. I'm going to measure a 6-inch tail. Now if you're experimenting, and this is a great project for you to experiment with because it's easy and taking it apart is no big thing. Right here's my 6-inch mark. Slide all these down. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to pass back through all of these. We're making a circle. Now I will be tying a knot because I'm completing this, but if you're experimenting with different sizes of stones, maybe you have some in your stash that are bigger or smaller, and this doesn't have to be a ring, by the way. You can do earrings if you want, pendant like I said. There's so many options, and you saw the ring that I made with this center. Okay, so I went full circle, but I don't know if it's 6 inches because I had to let it go. Okay, so I now have a 6-inch tail, which is perfect for finishing this off. But if you're experimenting, you wouldn't be tying this off. What you would do is take your needle and pass through the next bead, come out here, okay, and you would just be holding this tail tight the whole time as you do this weave. But what I do, basically, is I make my circle here, okay, to know if the stone's going to fit, and I just rest it on top. And I have my, it's not tight, but see how I can barely see? The trick is you barely want to see your beads around the outer edge, because we're going to be putting these 3mm Czech fire polish beads on the outer edge for our wall, so they're surrounding the stone, so you just want to barely see those beads around there, but you can't see it because the green one's on that one. I don't think I could pick it up, so I'm going to go ahead and tie it. So like I said, you has to be an even number for if you're doing a ring, if you're doing a bracelet like I showed there, or if you're doing necklace, because this here, I could have made this into a necklace. All I had to do to make this a necklace, and I totally forgot to talk about this in the video, was connect it to like this bead right here, or I could do that one there. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot here. This is really interesting. I do want to know if this, I was not paying attention, I do want to know if this would work with flat back cabochons, but I did not try it. So that is another idea. And also, what about buttons? Could this work with like metal buttons that have shank backs where you can cut the shank off the back? There's some buttons that I have that have like cabochon shape, you know what I'm saying, where they're domed in the top and flat in the bottom. That's another idea. The possibilities are endless. So I have my knot, and it's tight, but I just wanted to show you, because now I could pick this up. Now you can see better view. See how you can barely see my 4mm? That's how you want it. Just like that, and it should work. Alright, so now I'm going to take the needle, and I'm going to pass to the next bead. Because you never want to come out of that knot and pick up beads. You don't always want to go to the next bead. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up a 3mm and 3 11OC beads and a 3mm. Just like this. Go through the same bead that you're coming out of, and then step up and go through the next bead. Okay, we're making a little wall here. This is just like how I bezeled my Art Nouveau bracelet. I did it a lot like this. Okay, and then I'm going to do a 3mm and 3 11s. I'm going to go through this one here, through the next 4, and then through that 4. Well, I'm going through the 4 that I'm coming out of. I said next 4, but I misspoke. I'm going through the one that I'm coming out of, and then through the next one there. Pull this through. Now, this is loose over here, so what I have to do is stop, stand my wall up, pull this tight, okay, and I just pull, or I go like that, I pull that tight so it's all tight. And you want to stand it up, because if you don't, it will continue to get loose. This here part was probably the fussiest part of this design, was trying to keep this row tight. I have my next beads, and I'm going to go through this 3, through this 4, and through the next 4. So I'm just repeating this step right here all the way around. I got caught on my desk and it screwed me up. Okay, fold that up. Again, after I do each one, I stop and I pull it tight. Just like that. And I keep going. Same beads. 3mm and 3 11s. Okay, through this 3, through this 4, and through the next. Oh, and also, I am using Czech fire polish beads from my stash that are left over. So, you know, when you buy these 3mm, they come 50 on a strand, and so does a 4. And these here, these 4s I'm using, I only have 10 of these 4. So, a 3mm. So, it's another good project to use up stuff that you have small amounts of. So, there's my beads again, through the 3, through this 4, and through the next. And just go full circle, and every time you make a loop, it's kind of like a loop when you look at it from the side, you want to go back and pull this tight. This 11OC bead, it sits funny on the top, on top of the 3mm, and it makes it loose there. That drives me crazy. Okay, again, did I just tie a knot? No. 3mm, 3 11s. Through the same beads all the way around. Through this 3, through the 4, through the next 4. Do try and prevent yourself from puncturing your thread when you go through that bead. It kind of wants to happen. A 3 and 3 11s through this 4, through there. Pass this through. At the end, I do tighten it all back up by going to the beginning, believe it or not. So pick up a 3 millimeter and 3/11s. Through this 3, the 4, and the next bead. Okay. Pull it tight again. One more time. Pick up a 3 and 3/11s. Go through this one here and through the next. So we're now at the close. Okay, right there's where we're going to close it. And I don't want to get caught on my tail. I'm going to go up through this 3 millimeter, stop here, and what I like to do is I go back to the second loop. That was my first one. I pull that tight, and then I do the next one, and then that one, and just go all the way around. Okay, and then 3 seed beads, because we have all over 3 millimeters. Okay, go down through this 3, just like this. Darn it, I keep getting caught on the disc. Through this 4. Okay. So then I go through this bead. So I just want my tails to come out of the same bead. I especially did this when I was experimenting, this little step right here, so that if you didn't tie a knot at the beginning, if you're experimenting with different sizes, you pull both of these and it tightens up this ring on the bottom, because that ring will loosen if you didn't tie a knot at the beginning, in case you're experimenting with different size stones. So now I'm going to go up through here, through that 3, and then through 2 11/0 seed beads. Now this part right here, you may have to adjust this depending on how tall the stone is that you're using. So with this one, for some reason, I had to do 3 seed beads in between my gaps. But with this ring, and this one, and that one, I have to do 2. And the same kind of went for when I did this, if you remember. See, that one I did 4 seed beads, that one there I did 3 in between, that one was 4 in between. So it just depends. And don't fret if you have to undo it. It's no big deal. It's all part of designing, and I do this all the time. I think I take more things apart than I complete, believe it or not. I'm picking up 2 seed beads, and I'm now realizing I should have done this in 2 colors so you could see. But basically, you can look at the side here. See, the 3 that you added, you're coming out here, skipping these 2, and you're going to go into the middle one right here. So see, on this one I used 2 different colors, so you can see what I did there. Okay, and then 2 again. Again, side view, skip these 2 and go into the middle. Like that. And we're going to do this all the way around. Side view again, skip 2 and go into the middle one. Pick up 2, skip over 2, into the middle. Oh, and also, if you do make a bigger stone on the top, then you will have a smaller ring band. Keep that in mind as well. Pick up 2 seed beads. And let me know in the comments if you do try this with a cabochon, a flat back stone with a rounded top. Let me know if it works. Let other people know too. Do seed beads. skip over to through the middle one there again. Alright, all the way around, right there. I'm using a different bead mat today to film this because I was lazy. I didn't want to clean my entire desk off for that board that I usually film on. Skipping 2, going through the middle. So that's why I keep getting caught. Because this bead mat, I have to attach it down with binder clips to keep it from moving. 2 again. Through the next one here. I could actually fast forward this, but I don't know. I think I won't. 2 again. Okay, now we're back at the beginning. Right here. So I picked up 2 and I'm going to go through here. Now we've kept this loose and open. We haven't pulled it tight because we have to put our stone in. Okay. Now I think the reason why this one I had to do 3 between the gaps, I think was because this was a taller stone. This one's not as tall. So I'm going to put my stone in, just like that. Sits perfectly. Okay. Now you may notice, like, you could tell when you put your stone in if you had to alter something. Like if you have to take that last row out and you have to add more. I also wanted to try 15s with this, but I stayed with the 11s because I've been requested to do more stuff with 11s instead of 15s because it's real small. So this video was all about simplicity, so I tried doing the basics. So there is my stone. Now what I'm going to do is hold my stone in, and I'm going to go around a second time, but I'm only going through the 2 that I just added. Okay? And to make this easier, I'm going to go through 2 at a time. So there's once, twice, okay. So I think it's 5 times. I'm doing 2 groups at a time. See, like that. So just going through those 2 that I added, pull this tight through these 2 and these 2. This is the naughtiest tail I've ever had. Okay, I'm almost back to where I started, right here. That's the start, that thread. So I'm going to go through here, okay? And I'm going to continue to go around but a second time because you want this to be really strong. And so I'm going to go around this twice because, watch this. Do you see my thread? Once is not good enough, so I have to completely go around this a second time and pull it tight as you go, going through the 2 beads at a time. Okay, and just watch for when you bump into your second thread, and when you do, then we're going to step down to the base. Did I just make my second? I don't think so. No, there's 1 thread. Okay, so through here and the next row, just like that. Just closing this up. I would like to try this with the 8mm Chatons. Those right there. Yeah, okay, so I think I still have to go around. I think it's right there, might be it. Okay, did I make it? You can lift your threads up and see, I could tell there's 2 there. Okay, so pull it tight and then pass down. So I have to go down through, step down. I have to go through this seed bead and the next one, and then down through my 3mm Czech fire polish bead. Okay, pull that tight. So pretty. See my fingerprints on it. And then I'm going to go through the 4mm Czech fire polish bead. And I want to make sure my knot's not in that. My knot, is that over there? I think I might go through 2. I think that was my knot. Hold on a second. Let's see. I'm going to go through this bead. I want to check something. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be adding my ring band across from where my knot's at, because that would cause problems. No, it's not. Okay, it's this one. I think my knot might be in that bead, beside that one. So I will attach my ring band straight across here. Now I'm going to do my favorite ring band with a 1 needle. Okay, so in order to do this, I pick up 2 11s. I've done this before. I want chunkier looking seed beads. A 3mm and 2 11s. Like this. Slide them down. Go back through this bead that we're coming out of. Like that. Okay. So up through, I should flip it over. So up through these 2 that you just added, those 2 11s. And then pick up 2 11s again. A 3mm and 2 11s. And sew down through these 2 in the very first row. And then sew back through the 4mm again. Alright, so it's like that. And then sew up through these 4. Pull that tight, like that. Pick up 2 11s, a 3mm and 2 11s. Sew down through the next 2 11s. Come on, come on. And then, wait a second. It looks like a seed bead hopped off. So I'm going to go back up and pick up my missing bead. Okay, because I need 2 on each side of the 3mm. Go down through these 2. Okay, so loosen up so you know what I'm talking about. So you want that. That's how many beads you want right there every time you do this. And then I'm going to go through the it's a 3mm. You could do this with 4mm. I'm going to go through this one right here that's right beside where my thread's at. Okay, and then I'm going to sew up 4. Like that, and pull this tight. So again, I love this stitch. It's addicting. Do you guys remember I kind of did a ring with this stitch that was 3 rows? I'll put a picture of that ring up now. That was such a fun ring to make. Okay. So here's my beads. Pick up this amount every time. Sew down through 2 seed beads. Okay? Just like that. And then you're going to sew through this 3mm. Okay? And then go back up, but this time you're going up 4 because you added 2. So that means that you're going to go up through 4. Okay? and then pick up 2 11s, a 3mm, and 2 11s. Sew down through 2, then sew through this 3mm, then sew up through 4. It's that easy, and it looks so good. It's a very strong ring band because of the thread that I have in it. Pick up 2 again, a 3mm, and 2 seed beads. Sew down through 2, and then sew through the 3mm that your thread is right beside, and then sew up through 4 and start all over again. Okay, now to make a size 9 ring, I think I had 17 of these 3mm. So I'm gonna keep going. Alright, I'm back and I've made it all the way around. Make sure this fits you. What you basically want to do is, in case you're new to this, is sit that on top of the finger you want to wear it on. Wrap this around, and you want this to meet the bead that you're going to attach it to right there on the other side. And I kind of have hiccups. Hopefully it'll go away and I won't hiccup in the video, but I don't know. Okay, 2 seed beads straight across. I'm coming out on this right side, so I want to go in through this side. Go through at an angle. Gently wiggle. Pass it through. Okay. So see, it folds up. Pick up 2 seed beads. Oh, thank God. I think my hiccups are gone. It was really bad. Oh, 2 seed beads down through these 2 here. I don't think I've ever hiccuped on camera before. Go to the left through the 3mm, and then you have to sew up through these 4, like that. Okay, and then you have to go back through this 4, like that. Now normally, like I came out here, right, and I would have picked up 2 more seed beads if I was continuing to make this, my 3mm, 2 more seed beads, and weave back down here. But we just went through that bead instead. Okay, so now my tails are actually meeting, and I don't like to tie a knot here. So what I like to do, which tail's longer? I think it's my working tail. Yeah, my working tail's longer. So what I like to do is I like to connect my my ring band better, because it's only connected by this 1 bead. So I'm going to go down through these 2 seed beads, okay, go through this 3mm, up through these 2 seed beads, and then I make a brand new thread path by passing through this 4mm, okay, and I try to go through 2 at a time, just like that. So I'm adding a thread path right here. Right there's a new thread path, and then I'm going to go through these 2, okay, I'm going to go down through 2 seed beads, come on, lift up. Okay, so through those 2, and then through this 3mm, up through 2. Okay, so we are on the other side of the ring now, so I'm adding a thread path here, on that corner, on this corner, on that corner, and I'm working my way to this corner. I'm gonna go through these two, or should I? Let me see, let me see. I'll go this way. Yeah. Okay, so coming out over here of those 2 seed beads, I'm going to go through the next 2 4mm. I'm going to try to meet my tails up. Go through these 2. Ow. I have poked myself so many times lately with this needle. It's the most I've ever poked myself. It's ridiculous. I'm like a colander. Okay, now my threads are meeting. So now what I'm going to do is take my needle off, put my threads together. Well, they are pretty much the same, but I like them to be the exact same length so I could do this. I'm going to try and feed both of these together through my needle, and I'm probably going to regret it because I might be able to see my knot, but if I'll just split them up again and do 1 thread on each side. Okay, so I'm going to, in order to feed these onto a needle, you have to flatten the ends. So about 1/4 of an inch of the thread, just go like this with your fingernail and press it really hard against your fingernail there to make the thread flat, because it is naturally a round shape. And then put them side by side together like this between your fingers where you can't even see it. If you just roll your fingers down, it then peeks out. And go like this. I was asked to show how I do this, which I did show it in my Art Nouveau bracelet tutorial. And there we go. Now the goal is to just get them to be side by side. Okay, so I like to just slide the needle down, then pull these up, and then slide this into the place that you need. Okay, a little bit closer to the end, right there. Okay, let's try tying these together. Go down 2 beads. Okay, I'm going to take the needle. There'll be a little triangle thread there. You can pull it this way to see the 3 threads. See that? I'm going to go in there. I just poked myself again. Grab that thread. Go through the loop twice. I might have to do it 1 time. I might be able to see it. Okay. Please don't show. Please don't show. Pull that down. Pull it tight. Through the next 2 beads. Oh, it is hidden because fireline is the best. It is my most favorite thread. Okay, I'm going to tie a second knot. If you want, you can tie your threads in separately, but whenever I get a chance to do both of them, I go for it because it is faster. Oh boy, I don't know which loop is which. Oh, there's my, let's see. Okay, I'm going to go through this loop 1 time because you got twisted on me. And then pass through 2 beads. Pull that through, hide the knot. And I'm just going to continue on. I try to go as far as I can, tying knots, filling this in. I come out right here, I trim my threads off, and that's it. And there is my ring. It is so pretty. This one's definitely my favorite. This one's my second. And this one's my third. I'm not actually that crazy about the color combinations I did in this ring. But You know that I love turquoise and blue, and each one of these rings has blue in it. I'm so bad, I do this all the time. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Remember, I will have links for the Izabaro crystals down there below in the description bar. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and follow me on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.